Welcome to Screen Junkies. We are here today. I am joined by a panel of brilliant guests to explore the important questions of our time, like who should star in It Chapter 2? Yes, there are rumors, there's speculation, but let's face it, no one's getting it right. And we're here to do that for you people. We have 3 different versions of this film, 3 pocket universes, if you will. In mine, Warner Brothers has just decided we're gonna win an Oscar with this bitch and go full prestige in every single role. I'm gonna have the most prestige of the prestige in this movie. Miss Danielle, Warner Brothers was like, you know what? We want a blockbuster. Full.
Make that money. Make that money. Get them grandmas out. What did the kids like? What did your cousin like? They like what I'm bringing.
Okay.
4 quadrants. In Spencer's universe, Warner Brothers just went.
They took a lot of ayahuasca,
Yes.
but they were really trying to, on their vision quest, find out what would have the biggest reaction out of people. What would get people the most like, what? I gotta see this.
We're each going to talk about which one character at a time, who we've cast, and we're going to defend our position for the movie that we are making. So let's start with Bill. Do we want to go prestige first?
Yeah,
Yes.
Kick us
All
off.
right, let's kick it
Give us
off
an
with little
Oscar.
Bill. Christian Bale steps in as Bill, a successful horror writer now living in London with his actress wife. Who is more perfect with those big, emotive eyes, with the commitment to his craft, with the ability to invoke a sense of leadership and fear? Who could be our hero standing at the end of this Oscar-driven film? But Mr. Christian Bale, who is willing to go the distance, he would find an alien Pennywise, and he would get to know that monster and rip out its heart just to prepare for the role.
But is that Bill? Bill seems like he grows into his leadership role, but he also has to have that fragility and that kind of timidness.
And even grown-up Bill isn't like super, and not like, we're not going to, no spoilsies for like a 30-year-old novel, whatever. No spoilsies, but like, even movie Bill isn't like super ready to be Christian Bale.
Oh.
Or second chapter Bill.
In my vision, he's already there. First of all, let's do a little comparison. Take a look at Christian Bale in one of his first performances as a kid, and he actually bears a striking resemblance to young Jaden Abraham.
I'll give you this, Roth. Christian Bale, great actor.
Yes.
Capable of playing several roles.
Yes.
So I think he could do it.
He
That
could
is
do
true.
it. And he certainly has quite a bit of fragility. Have you not seen The Fighter and the Machinist?
And also, as a kid, he had to work so hard to sell those newspapers, and it was a really, really difficult job.
Yeah.
But he sold me on it, and he sang.
Newsies.
All right, who you got? Who do you want to fight my bill with your bill?
My Bill is Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh.
Ooh.
He gets butts in seats.
He gets butts in seats. And also, look at him. I think that he has a certain vulnerability. They kind of look alike. Like, if you look at them, like, it's like too much of a stretch to go from Leo to him.
Is this really like a fun popcorn movie kind of an actor?
Yes.
Okay.
Titanic. The ultimate popcorn
he was
film.
12. That was 200 years ago, and he's never returned to a thing like that.
I would argue that he has done a few movies that could be considered to be popcorn. And also, Leonardo DiCaprio, like, he's, my Oma, who came from, not like Paddington, who came from darkest Peru. She came from lightest Germany and Czechoslovakia. My Oma knows Leonardo DiCaprio. And my Oma, if Leonardo DiCaprio was in a movie, is like, Shante, take me to that movie.
Yeah, Leonardo, that's amazing. Leonardo DiCaprio is a big popcorn actor despite his best efforts. Like, he tries to be in the Scorsese movie and The Revenant and stuff like that, and people go see him anyway.
Yeah, I don't care how many bison hearts you eat.
Yeah,
like,
we're
you're
still gonna see
Leonardo
it.
DiCaprio forever. You were on Growing Pains.
All right. Well, yes. In a
And what has
series
more
arc,
growing pains than it?
Spencer,
That'd be a good
blow
alternate
our
title.
minds.
All right, we want people to be talking about this, tweeting about this, writing a lot of think pieces about my version of this movie. So, who better for Bill, the guy who has trouble speaking and is like a little tall, white, weird, and creepy, than the Trump administration's Jared Kushner. I think if we cast J.K. as Billy, It'll give him something to do after he's quarantined or whatever happens after his political career. And I don't know what he sounds like. I've never really heard him speak, so it'll be a really emotional moment when he finally opens up his mouth. And assuming that a little predator mouth doesn't come out and speak for him, to hear Jared Kushner's voice for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, once he zips off his lizard, like his skin suit, and it just becomes a full-on lizard, I think that'll do a really good job.
Save
no,
on
but seriously,
CGI.
I've heard him speak. God knows, someone give that kid a break. You know,
Really?
Why?
That kid just needs a break in life.
like
no
he's gotten
one's
all
giving
the
him
breaks.
enough breaks.
Oh, okay, you're being
And what
sarcastic.
he needs,
Yeah, he needs
She's
our
doing the
support.
me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, she's getting there. Yeah,
You
that's my
out
pick.
snarked the Snarkinator. Well, let's hear the whole cast and then we'll see how it plays off together. Ben, sweet Ben, sweet Ben, who is the heart of the Losers Club, if you will. Sweet Ben grew up and became none other than, when he decides to be America's sweetheart, Matt Damon. Who says the nice guy that should get the girl more than Matt Damon? Who says unlikely hero than Jason Bourne himself? He's an actor's actor. This is a prestige pick.
I was gonna say, is it prestige enough though? I think Matt Damon is mostly Jason Bourne. He's mostly a popcorn guy these days.
How dare you,
How
sir?
dare I?
I will say, like, movies have been, like, they have changed the category and stretched it so that they could try to get this dude awards. People want Matt Damon to win awards.
And I would argue that he still does try to do things. He did Downsizing, which may or may not be your favorite movie, but he did something that he thought was different and interesting. He's not out there just doing your big popcorn movies. He's not like an actor who I really like that's a big popcorn actor. Maybe we'll be hearing about him. I don't know. I literally don't, but Chris Pratt. That's Matt Damon is still out there trying to act and do movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the popcorn choice?
The popcorn choice is Matt Damon's best friend, Ben Affleck.
No, really?
For
Yes.
Ben?
Yes.
Did you guys
Ben?
plan this?
Ben
No.
grew up to be Ben Affleck?
Yeah, Ben grows up to be Ben Affleck. Think about it. Who knows more about changing appearances over and over again for different movies? Ben has been Tiny Ben. He's been Reindeer Games Ben.
He's
been
His appearance,
Batman
he looks
Ben.
like Ben
He
Affleck.
looks like Ben.
Yeah, but
He's
like a
slightly
tortured,
more
like sad Ben
bulked Ben.
sometimes.
He's-
Picture the Ben that was doing that now iconic interview that they did for that junket where people are just talking about the movie and
Oh,
he's just
hello,
going
darkness,
into
my
space.
friend.
Picture that Ben.
Okay, Ben and Ben. Let's talk about Ben. So the Ben,
So Ben 1 and Ben 2.
Ben from the movie
Ben one.
is Ben 1 is a lighter guy. He's a nice guy. He's like the guy next door. He's like your best friend. He's your pal. He's the guy that you trust. Ben Affleck is like that guy's best friend.
Maybe we'll go back to the 90s when we liked
Okay.
Ben. We'll go back to a Chasing Amy of that Ben too, who's like, I'm relatable, I'm in love, she's a lesbian, I'm sad and weird.
But wasn't he kind of like the douchey guy that ultimately you were like, oh, he's all right. He's our douche. He's our douche. I love Ben Affleck. I love him as the Batman, but interesting. I like that it's a twist.
Yeah. Speaking of twists, so I'm getting all the political commentators going with my Jared Kushner pick. Now
Yeah,
I'm
you
going
did.
after the Tumblr set. Now I'm going after the fangirls and fanboys of the world. That's why my choice for Ben is Matthew Lewis. And if you haven't heard about him, he's the Neville Longbottom actor who got real hot.
Oh, yeah.
That's my case.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Just look, he was cute before, but his glow up
look at
was
that.
like, and
He's
it's
all
not,
grossed up.
and honestly,
Yeah.
I don't even think like everyone was like, oh, he lost weight and got hot. Nah, man, he saw life and got hot.
Yeah.
I don't even know
Look
if
at that.
it
He
was
looks a little
necessarily
rough.
because he lost so much weight. It's just like, look at them eyes.
Yeah, he just looks like
Doleful.
he's seen enough things.
Oh,
Doleful eyes.
Put,
He's
them,
the
put them
real
eyes on a
chosen
cactus,
one.
and I
Yeah.
will take my chance with that cactus.
And he has the real
mouth
life
will hurt, but-
experience
but-
that Ben, the character. You know what? Spencer
Exactly.
can't argue with it. It's
Yeah,
an
no, I
amazing
like it.
pick.
I kinda love
it's
it.
It's kind of
Outside
perfect.
the box, but there it is.
Nah, it's pretty great.
No, Miss Beverly is the girl loser in the bunch. And now it's been rumored that Beverly was going to be, there was a cut sequence with Jessica Chastain. And I say, okay, you had Prestige right with that, but did you have the Beverly right? No, you didn't. You know who's the perfect Beverly and an actress of great prestige? Amy Adams. It's Amy Adams! What is everybody talking about? Obviously, Amy Adams should play Beverly. She is absolutely perfect for this role. I really contend there's no other actress that is as perfection for this role. And she is a strong prestige pick. So she does the Matt Damon rule of 1 for me and, Man of Steel for you.
Similarly, she is popcorn, but she has gotten some prestige. I went with Ms. Anne Hathaway.
Wow.
Talk about pop a wig on it. You pop a wig on her.
But no one's excited to go out to see the new Anne Hathaway movie.
Well, this is an ensemble cast.
Okay.
And after seeing her work in Colossal, which is a movie that I'm going to champion until I die.
Oh, it's great.
And based on her performance in Colossal, I'm like, oh yeah, she can definitely handle everything that happens to grown-up Bevs.
I have to see Colossal.
You have to see Colossal.
Yeah.
So my pick for Beverly is, she's got short red hair. It's in the 80s. They're all grown up now. She's kind of the Molly Ringwald of the group.
Yes.
Let's get Molly Ringwald. What's Molly Ringwald doing these days?
She's on Riverdale.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
And
And living in France.
And she's been doing Broadway since.
Yeah.
It's not like she stopped acting. She's done a lot of actually really, I can't think of any of them off the top of my head because I didn't know it was coming or I would have come with like things. But she's done, I think she did Sally Bowles. Like she's done
Okay,
some
good. I'm
really
glad
good
she's
work
still
on
acting.
Broadway.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's the level of research I did. Okay, good. Yes, she's still acting, and she's she went through the 80s and perhaps some trauma there too, and has bounced back and stronger than ever.
Well, she moved to France and lived in Paris for a long time. So if we want to call that trauma,
Horrifying.
It's like a horrifying experience for her.
Yeah, she definitely did the like the proto Lindsay Lohan of like, oh God, just leave me alone. I'm going to Europe.
Yes.
Yeah, lived there for a long time, came back, and now she's on the CW. Like you do. Yeah, that's an interesting choice. So Richie, who is the loudmouth, Finn Wolfhard, who is the person that is both a prestige actor and looks similar enough and has a similar enough vibe to play Finn Wolfhard's grown-up self? There's only one answer, ladies and gentlemen, and that is Mr. Adrian Brody. Adrian Brody is the only person who can possibly play this role. This is a person that he's also definitely he's one of those people that you pepper in the cast to be like, we have actors.
Yes.
I've never thought of him as a funny person, but I don't think that it doesn't mean that he can't.
Prestige movies can't have any sense of humor about them.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything's got to get real somber.
That's true.
Because sad equals important.
Yes.
All of his like shock jockiness would just have to be done in a way where it's like, isn't it sad that he still has to talk about this? Honka, 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 honka.
Well, in my universe, he's actually not a shock jockey. That's in the book. And then I think in the miniseries, he was like a late night comedy host. Oh, he's an internet celebrity
Definitely
in my pocket universe.
Vine 2.0
Yes.
for sure. All right.
Just talking about the news.
who do you got?
Let me throw something out there. I loved Finn Wolfhard in this movie. I thought he was the perfect choice. And I think you need that Stranger Things connection. So I'm going to cast Finn Wolfhard sitting on Gaten Matarazzo's shoulders wearing a giant overcoat. So you're still getting Finn Wolfhard, but now he's got the height and seamlessly blending in. And you got 2 kids from Stranger Things, but now they're playing some hijinks. It's like they've snuck onto
and now
the
they're
movie
talking
set.
about a business.
Exactly.
Now all of the money is going to go. Every single comment is going to vote for your movie because it's clearly the movie that we all want to see.
Yeah,
but what
just-
about a popcorn movie, the fourth quadrant?
Don't be sad, Clowny.
Oh, did we skip you?
That was a BoJack Horseman recipe. Yeah, that's fine. For mine, I'm thinking of someone who can do humor, and no, it's fun. It keeps it like so it's not quite.
Surprise!
I like it. Surprise! 2 kids in a trench coat. I went with someone who can do voices, someone who is funny and that we've also seen like be able to do other kinds of media. I went.
Wait.
with.
Can we add a new element to this? Mm-hmm. Okay, guess. Someone who can do voices
Jim
and has
Carrey.
done.
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader. Hey.
Oh, dude.
I
like
think
that.
Bill Hader would be a really, really good choice because he can do like all of the like, I'm silly, blah, 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 whatever. But I do genuinely feel like he'll get murdered by a clown.
He definitely will. I gotta add.
The funniest murder.
I just started watching documentary now, and he is such a good actor.
Yes.
That's what I really take
Yes.
away.
Okay.
And I even the Skeleton Twins. Not everybody loved it, but he is a legitimately good actor as well as being hilarious. So awesome pick. And awesomely weird.
Tears of
Adrian
two
Brody
clowns.
is still the only one though.
Yeah, probably.
Mike, Hanlon, who is the other heart of the story. He is, in my pocket universe, going to retake the role of the researcher and the one that delivers the information. He's the librarian. He's the one that brings them all back together. Who can play this brilliant human of great compassion and strength of character other than Sterling K. Brown, ladies and gentlemen? Sterling K. Brown is the person for this role.
Yep.
There is no other. I'm not saying no to that. He's the one that brings them all together. Sterling K. Brown is the person for this role.
Great prestige pick. Can't resist him, man. I saw him once in real life, and he nodded at me like, yeah, you know who I am. And I was like, I do.
I do.
What's that like?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
I mean, look, he and the truth is he really is such an incredible actor. I feel like this would be the person that at the end of the day you would be pushing for that best supporting actor win, like Sterling K. Brown. I defy you to find another.
I think that this, I mean, it might be the boring pick. I don't think, I love this actor, but it does feel very, very obvious. But this is popcorn, we do obvious. I'm going with Chadwick Boseman.
Okay.
Going with that Boseman. If you're looking for someone who can be essentially Black Giles of the Losers Club, which is what he is, he's exposition man. If you're looking for someone who can deliver that dialogue and to also be a heart and a leader, go with Black Panther.
But that's not who he is in the movies, in chapter 1.
I know.
So you're casting, the miniseries or the book.
Yeah.
But that's not the Mike that they gave us. Well, I'm going with Movie Mike, and Movie Mike doesn't say much, doesn't really do much.
I'm so ready for this.
He's got a cool gun, like his little meat murder machine, but otherwise he's just kind of the strong, silent type.
Okay,
and
Maz.
I feel like we need to get the gamer audience on board, so I've cast Master Chief from Halo.
Master Chief.
What
Master
Losers
Chief
Club
is
couldn't
a
use
human.
a regenerating Spartan warrior? He's strong. When he speaks, people listen, and he's got to make a lot out of a very small level of dialogue.
Master Chief is a fictional character.
Not in this universe, baby.
But you know what? You also get Cortana when you get Master Chief, which is now somehow a real thing that no one likes or uses.
Right. R.I.P. Windows Phone. But yeah, I think that he's just... I'm just working with what they gave us, and what they gave you with Mike in part 1 or chapter 1 of this movie is just a guy that's kind of in the background. So let's at least bulk him up and make him cool.
Yeah, let's put a winner on the Losers Club.
This Losers Club needs more winners.
With the meat is murder gun.
Yeah.
Eddie, who could play this neurotic, damaged, hypochondriac, this hurt little man with more pathos and is also a guaranteed prestige pick to unnerve the audience and work with the rest of this cast other than Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is the person
unnerving.
and very unnerving. Definitely could play neurotic and nervous.
Can he?
Yes.
What's a role where he's played manic and high-strung?
I mean, I don't think that he has to be manic and high-strung to be neurotic.
Where was
That's
that one where
Woody
he fell
Allen
in?
shtick,
Where's
right?
that one where he fell in love with a phone?
Her.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a little bit in Inherent Vice. He was actually a little bit manic in Inherent Vice. This is certainly a weirdo and an actor's actor and somebody that you just sitting in your seat, the minute that Joaquin Phoenix comes on screen, you're like, I don't know, I feel anxious just looking at him.
Sure.
So I feel like he is definitely the guy to play our Eddie.
I think that is a really, I like that. It's a strong pick. For me, for my Eddie, I went, again, we're going popcorn, but someone who can get the job done, Sebastian Stan.
Ooh.
He's not only Sebastian Stan, people know him. Again, even my Oma knows him, which that's actually kind of weird.
Passes the Oma test.
He passes the Oma test.
Yeah.
That and Liverwurst. But he also did an amazing job in I, Tonya of showing that he can play so many different kinds of characters. I think that he would be great.
Yeah. So in my world, Eddie
That was easy. Wow.
is a dog who talks.
Yes. He's a hypochondriac. When he grows up, for me, that paranoia kind of consumes him, and he kind of loses it a little bit. His life kind of falls apart. So art imitating life. Let's cast Randy Quaid. Let's get
Oh, your movie got dark.
the craziest, the craziest Quaid.
Yeah.
Don't tear up the script. Just throw a camera on him and let him tell you about chemtrails and how Tower 7 was an inside job, and you have what's called gold. You know,
Your movie went to a less fun, more dark place. Well, it was kind of dark. It's been back
it's
and
everywhere.
forth. It's everywhere.
It crosses all spectrums. I think that he's a wild card. He's the straw that stirs the drink, and it tracks with what we know about him as a child, which was hypochondriac, crazy mom, made him take a lot of pills, and you get a Randy Quaid out of that.
All right.
Yeah, right. If Air Bud isn't your next choice, I'm
so sad.
Well,
so Stanley, this one's
second
a tricky. This one is a smaller role, Stanley, right? Yeah. And but it's a pivotal role. And if you're making a prestige film, you want to make every single appearance count. You want to get the VIP of support actors of 2017. Just with his presence, he tells you this is a piece of work that you will appreciate. And that is MVP Michael Stuhlbarg.
Oh,
Okay.
that guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. That guy from Fargo. That guy from The Shape of Water.
Winner of the Screenies That Guy Award.
That guy is the guy to be the piece de resistance in your prestige film. He tells the audience subconsciously, this movie's not to be messed with.
Oh, I can't argue that. That's
Well-
good. I like that choice.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not cool to just cast for physical similarities, but he doesn't really look like that kid, at all.
He doesn't look a ton like that kid, but let's be honest, no one's going to remember that role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kid is not going to be, he's like, oh, that one. He was the one that was like, I'm over here.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
I did it.
All right.
Yeah, I did it.
So for my Stanley, keeping with that vibe and keeping with the Colossal vibe, I did go with Jason Sudeikis.
Oh.
I loved him in Colossal. We obviously know that he can do comedy, but that was something that also proved ooh, there's something dark in you. She thinks he's funny and cute.
Perfect. Well, yeah, like you guys said, it's a small role, so let's make it count. This is a neurotic kid. He's a man of the Jewish faith, and what better person to portray him on the big screen than Larry David? I think if you have just the interaction of Larry David and Pennywise, I mean, come on, really? What is this clown? What is this? He's coming in, so many teeth. Yeah, is worth the price of admission alone. I wonder what he's the most afraid of. The form that Pennywise would take, some type of fish salad or something that he doesn't care for. I just really want to see Larry David face off against an evil clown.
Well, that fish
All right.
salad is amazing. So
I want to see that episode.
Yeah.
I want to see that episode of his show. Those are the losers. But my studio executive, he's not done yet. Or she. How dare you? No. Bill Skarsgård was inarguably really great as Pennywise, and it was not an easy role. Those weren't easy shoes to fill. But you know what? He's not winning that many Oscar. But you know who is? Leonardo DiCaprio. And in my pocket universe, Leonardo DiCaprio is not only Pennywise, but Adrian Brody, who plays an internet star, is secretly terrified of celebrities and their actual power.
Oh, so he takes the form
Leonardo
of Leonardo DiCaprio.
takes the form of Leonardo
Wow.
DiCaprio in order
Oh my
to
God.
torment
So
him.
meta.
oh my God, and then he just does the dance
Yes,
from Wolf of Wall Street.
that's right.
Because it's
But
the
it's-
scariest.
but
It's
it's
him at the height of his power.
Yes, but it's like the darker version of the Wolf of Wall Street
Okay.
dance. And then maybe he morphs into Daniel Day-Lewis just for one day of work that they went to his cobbler shop in Italy to film. But Leonardo DiCaprio is my Pennywise in your bill.
Okay, that's strong choices.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I still don't think Leo's disturbing enough, but he'll throw himself into it. He'll try.
Leo
we'll humor him.
tormenting someone as Leo?
I mean, that's genius. Can you just do the
Thanks.
cameo?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I guess
He
if
could
I
do the cameo.
If I had to pick a new Pennywise, it would just be Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Nice.
Jennifer
Okay.
Lawrence, just I'm here, I'm Pennywise, my dog, and then she falls over
Very relatable. Pennywise gets me.
Oh my God, you guys!
feel like I could
I
have a
feel like
beer
I'm
with
Pennywise.
Pennywise.
I feel like I'm Pennywise.
I
sometimes.
feel like we could But really, like, if we met, we could be friends.
Oh my God, she would like be my best friend.
Right? Like, I
and
could
then
be
like
friends with
we would get a
Pennywise.
brunch, we would eat a bunch of arms. It would be amazing.
We would just have a couple of beers.
Oh my God, it's so
Pennywise. She's just like us. Okay, well, if we have to pick a new Pennywise, just off the top of my head, I want to pick something disturbing, something that is
You
unsettling
have.
to look at, more so. So I will pick the old dancing grandpa from those Six Flags commercials. In the 80s. You know that guy who's like,
that's so upsetting.
He's moving way too fast for a man that age, and I think that every time I saw that, that's what Pennywise would turn into if I saw him today. So let's cast that guy. He's still alive.
All right. Well, I think that's it. That's going to wrap us up. Basically, you guys have to vote in the comments below. My prestige pick, Danielle's popcorn picks, and Spencer's provocative picks, and then our united cast. My suggestion for the actual cast is this: Danielle's Bill,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
my Pennywise, who is also Leonardo DiCaprio, Spencer's Ben.
Neville Longbottom.
Yes, which is Neville Longbottom. My Beverly, it's Amy Adams. Come on. Richie, we're going with Danielle's.
Oh, Bill Hader. Yeah.
My Mike, which is Sterling K. Freaking Brown.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
a
good
really
choice.
good Mike.
Eddie, Spencer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, great. Randy Quaid.
Yeah, Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
Stanley's the wild card. Question mark Stanley. Question mark Stanley. Let us know who Stanley should be and all the other things in the comments below. Has this been weird enough for you? We hope so. Let us know your dream cast for It Chapter 2 in the comments below. Join us on our next ayahuasca trip.
You'll float too.
No, but you probably